Luke Humphries, congratulations, a roller coaster of a game, fabulous performance, cruising, a 9, Luke Woodhouse comes back into it and then you get over the line. How would you assess it overall?
Yeah, I'd assess it as a great game of darts, to be fair. You know, the 9 dart was obviously fantastic and I was in that flow state the first 2 sets, and you know, I was quite happy there was a break after it because your adrenaline's so high, you just need 5 minutes to calm yourself down a little bit, and I don't think I was calm, to be honest, that third set. I was trying my best to relax myself, but you know, you feel a little bit uptight. You kind of just done something great. It's not easy to do. So obviously, when I lost it, you're thinking probably relaxed me. Losing that third set probably relaxed me a little bit, and then win the fourth. And you know, it's a good situation to be in. But I don't think the next 2 sets I lost was because I dwindled too much. It was more that he showed a lot of bottle to come back and play really good. So to me, it was just a great game of darts. I don't know what the end statistics were, but it doesn't always make great statistics to make it a good game. I just thought it was a great one to be a part of, and obviously happy I won it.
Many people have threatened the 9, but you're the first one to hit the 9 on the new board as well. Does that make it extra special?
Yeah, it does, of course. You know, so many opportunities this week, to be fair, so many people, and they couldn't do it, and I'm like, well, I'll be the one to do it, you know what I mean? Like, but, you know, when you hit the 2 180s, it's kind of like, it's a 1 in 10 shot, really, and most of the time it don't go, and sometimes it does, but of course, for me, for the sponsor, it's always great to be the first one to hit it on the new board, and you know, it felt like it was going to go. So the treble 20, the treble 19, and double 12, it felt natural. So, you know, for me, the great thing is that's 3 9 darts, another 12 months, so maybe I can keep going it a few more in the future.
In fact, you've hit a 9 with the new flights and every setup.
Yeah.
Now, in your head now, is that now perfect?
Well, it's more to do with the fact that I can't just have one bad game and go, let's change back because they ain't working. Because I showed 2 games now that I can actually show good scoring, good finishing, and show bottle at the end of the game like I did there. You know, that 54 was always really tough to hit. You know, no matter what tournament it is, if it's a Players' Championships or you know, World Final, to take out that 54 in the last leg decider, and I've done it under the most real pressurised circumstances. Yeah, I can't look back at them darts now and go, they can't work. So yeah, this is just a small change, but I'm going to keep changing and trying to find anything that can make me even better than I was yesterday and today. You know, I'm always searching. So, but I feel content with them.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well done, Luke.
Thank you.
After a 9 darter, sometimes, as you say, it takes a second to calm down, but your levels didn't really drop much. It was around that sort of 105, 106 mark throughout the game.
Yeah.
Were you pleased with how you were able to sort of keep that consistency after the 9 darter?
Yeah, honestly, I think the third set was probably the only one that I kind of maybe had a little bit of a lull in it, but you kind of expect it sometimes. I mean, the break was perfect timing because you know, let the crowd enjoy the moment for a bit. They can have 5 minutes of really enjoying the 9, and then you can have 5 minutes to calm yourself down a little bit. But you know, for me, you can't be perfect all the time, so it was just unfortunate, not a great set for myself. But I managed to get that 4th set in, go to the break, and 3-1 up. It's a great part, you know, great position to be in. And you know, the next 2 sets probably had chances to win them, but you know, Luke showed a lot of bottle and a lot of grit and determination to, you know, to keep me going. And you know, the 3 darts I missed to go to win the last set 2-0, disappointing, but you know, I suppose that's the ebbs and flow of the game of darts, and I'm just happy I got that done in the end.
You mentioned there how well Luke Woodhouse played to get himself back into that contest. He's sort of often known, he's been talked about as the 3rd Luke. That's been mentioned a few times, but I think he deserves the respect as a player that's really there to challenge now, isn't he?
Yeah, I said to him after, you know, you're going to be disappointed, but I think you showed one thing, and you showed you got the bottle now. And he'll probably tell you himself, you know, he's always had a good game. He's always been a good scorer, you know, in so many instances, and I'm a big fan of him because I get on really well with him as well. You know, he just misses that crucial leg or that big score, that big double at the wrong time that he misses, and it costs him the game. And you know, you can't look back on that game and go, I messed up there, because I put a lot of pressure on him all the time, and he's put a lot of pressure on me. So I think the one thing you could take away from tonight was he's shown that next level now. He's got the bottle, he's got that determination, he's got the scoring power and the finishing to match anybody. So you know, obviously disappointing to lose. Of course it is for him, but if he could take one thing away from me, he's going to feel like he's got that talent now to kick on and, you know, challenge himself and get maybe, you know, top 16, you know, higher in the rankings, and he's definitely got the game for it, that's for sure. Thank you.
Congratulations, Luke.
Thank you.
Have you just reminded us how damn good you are?
Yeah, maybe. You know, there's sometimes you lose a couple of tournaments early, and everyone sort of sort of degrade you a little bit, and you say, oh, you know, he's not the second best, you know, he's the second best. But I show it all the time that I've been the most consistent player, you know, except for Luke. Obviously, he's been better. But over the last 3 years of that second best level, where, you know, I'm on it all the time. You know, kind of the World Series has always been that tournament. I feel like I've never produced as well. I don't know why. I didn't produce I did in Bahrain, but in Saudi it wasn't as good. But, you know, certain circumstances, you just have a moment where they don't go well. But I always show that decent level where in the big majors, when it really matters, I'm always at a high level. And, you know, for me, I feel like I've been the first or second best performer in this tournament as well. So, you know, obviously tomorrow I've got to come here and produce it again to prove it once and for all again.
Just one more from me. You're a superstitious player. You've admitted that.
Yeah.
Is that now a lucky shirt?
Well, we'll see if I win them, maybe. But yeah, you know, for me, it takes a lot for me to change things. That's the problem with me. You know, I don't want to change shirt because I've achieved so much in the last one. I didn't want to change darts because last year was good again. I think I have one more year with them, but I thought, you know what? Nah, let's change. Let's do something different. Put yourself out a bit of a comfort zone, and you know, I could have carried on my old shirt. I mean, to most people, you're probably thinking it's a little bit, you know, what do you care? But for me, it's like I always want to stick to the same. Someone with anxiety, it's always about keeping the same things. But you know, yeah, I just changed a few things. And, you know, the darts seem to be going really well, so I'm quite happy, and I'm glad I changed, because if I want to get better, then I have to make these little, you know, small changes in my game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Luke, congratulations on that performance. Just on switching darts, I know Bill Taylor used to always say that no matter what he won, he would always sort of tweak things to try and get even better. Well, was that in your mind, and how tough was it to put the set of darts down that have been so successful and go in a different direction?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, most players, when they tweak something, they change the whole barrel shape, the whole flight system and stuff like that. I've not changed too much. You know, the points are a little bit longer, the flights are a completely different, you know, feeling, and they're the same design, but they're a different flight. And the barrels are, you know, a completely brand new one. So for me, that's a big deal for someone like me. But unless I want to get better, I have to do these things. You know, it's always great, you know, feeling content and enjoying, you know, being the second best player, and, you know, you're earning a good living, but do you want to win more and more? And of course I do. So yeah, I'm just trying to increment little changes, and I'm still working on a new barrel to take me to the next level. So I'm always trying to better myself, and, you know, these ones are doing great, but there might be another extra mil on another point that can make me even better, so I'll keep trying.
In that final leg, you hit a really clutch 180, and there's been a lot of clutch moments throughout your career. Those big shots and those pressure moments, is that something that you can learn, or is it just something that you have that bottle within?
You learn and you have it. I think, you know, I've had many experiences where I've done it before, and I've had many experiences where I've not done it before and I've folded. You know, that's just the normal sort of thing of a human being. You know, you can't be perfect all the time. You can't be ice cold all the time. You know, you look back through my career, you know, I've had many moments where I've folded in that last leg because you feel the pressure, and then sometimes you feel that little bit of experience in you that can capitalise on a certain moment. And tonight I showed the experience, but there was a rubbish score in there. So, you know, it's hard. The pressure's on you. You feel it, but you can still throw good darts through it. And I did in the right moments. You know, that 180, like I said earlier, it was bigger than the 9 dart, to be fair.
You said that in the past you have folded in some moments. Is that the old Luke Humphries, or is there any moments now where you think, actually, I did fold in that moment?
No, I'm talking like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago. I'll never not. You know, it's not like I fold. It's more you have experiences in life where the pressure gets to you more than the other time. You know, tonight the pressure didn't get to me too much. Tomorrow it could do. You just don't know. You know, pressure's a weird thing. You know, one minute it can affect you, the next it don't. It all depends on the moment. So for me, it didn't happen tonight. I didn't feel like I was going to fold. But, you know, there's certain moments where you feel that pressure more than others. So you know, it's always great when it doesn't you know, hurt you as much.
Well
Last
played.
one or two, please, guys.
Congratulations, Luke. In terms of the drama, the 9 darter and the high scoring, is that one of the greatest games you've been involved in?
Well, it's up there. I still stand by the game with Joe Cullen was, you know, for me in the World Championships will always stay with me as you know, of course, if you lose it, I probably wouldn't be saying it, but winning that game is the best game that I've ever been a part of, the most dramatised game I've been a part of, and it, you know, without that game I wouldn't have been World Champion. So for me, that'll always stay at the top. But, you know, that one will definitely be up there as one of them games where, you know, you remember it for a bit of time, and, you know, if you go on and win the trophy, then you definitely remember it even more. You know, because ebbed and flowed. And look, for the fans, it's always great to watch them sort of things. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I won. If you lose it, it's a bit disappointing. But yeah, it's a perfect night at it. 9 data, really close game, winning the last leg decider. Gives you a good bit of confidence.
And it's usually a family affair for you here. Will you be bringing your partner and your son tomorrow?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, no, they're at home. He's got school on Monday, so it's a little bit harder when you're, a little bit further away now. Wolverhampton and stuff like that, unless it's a little bit closer. But yeah, I still got my mum and dad here, and my uncle, and my auntie's been, and our workmate Pip, he always comes as well. So yeah, got plenty of support. Obviously, my family at home supporting me in the back, but it's maybe if I make the fun, who knows? They might try and pop up, see if they can.
Well done.
Last one, please. It felt at times that a ton might not be enough during that game. Do you think there'll be a point where a 100 average might be a par score in the PDC?
Maybe, who knows? I think there's been a few instances this year where 100 average isn't enough, and that will continue. But it's not nothing to do with that. It's more to do with the standards just getting better, and usually 100 averages are more in the lat stages when the top players really kick in. But nowadays you got people hitting them in first rounds and stuff. So yeah, it's one of them things. The standard gets better, and the 100 averages are just a normal thing nowadays. It's 110 averages that mean more now.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, good luck for the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luke. Cheers.